Alright, my exams are over, and for the fun part, they are over forever. Because I'm in my 5th year, the next semester my internships start. I will need to prepare some things for the internships, and I'm going to bring you along. Unfortunately, I don't really know what to prepare, so I need to find the answers. So let's go. As you can see, I have already prepared for something because I cut my hair. But I'm afraid cutting my hair won't do the trick. So let's look up on how we can prepare for my internships. Welcome back to Guess the Diagnosis. If you haven't seen the previous vlog, you should watch that first, because right now I'm going to reveal the diagnosis of the previous week. Okay, do you still remember that Murphy's sign was positive? And that means at that point, the most likely diagnosis is cholecystitis. But what is this test of Murphy? For this test, you have to find the mid-clavicular line and on the right side, and then go for a deep palpation below the costal margin. That's the area of the gallbladder. While you palpate, you should ask the patient to breathe in and out deeply. The test of Murphy is positive when the patient has pain and has to stop breathing. Okay, let's put everything together. I also told you that the patient had pain in his right quadrant of his abdomen 30 minutes after he ate fatty foods. Well, that is the time that your gallbladder will contract. But because it's inflamed, it will hurt. So now we have a big idea of what it could be. What tests should we order to confirm our diagnosis? The first thing you could do is order lab tests with a complete blood count, CRP levels and liver function tests. But the best case here would be using an ultrasound to confirm our diagnosis. Alright, let's go to the next case. Our next case is about a 62-year-old man, Mr. De Vries. He came into the ER with heavy pain on his right eye. You ask about his story and he tells you this. I had just settled into my couch after a long day of work. The room was dark and only some light coming off from the TV screen. But halfway through my favorite show, I felt a dull ache in my right eye. But within minutes, this discomfort turned into searing pain. My vision blurred and I started seeing strange halos around lights. Then the nausea hit. It was a deep, overwhelming sickness. My head was banging and the pain in my eye was unbearable. And that's why I came to the ER. Right now you could already make up your differential diagnosis. But let's dive some deeper into the history of this patient. He has a history of a mild hypermyopia, or that is far-sightedness. But he has not been wearing glasses consistently. He had also no history of eye problems. Okay, in a minute we'll dive into the medical history. See you in a minute. Alright, I have looked up some information on how I could prepare for my internships, and this is what I came up with so far. Let's start with the first things first, and that is actually preparing the knowledge. I already know what rounds I'm going to do. I'm first going to cardiology, and I had to question, well, do I need to know everything? And the answer to that question is no. Okay, the thing that I'm going to say right now is solely my own opinion. I'm going to prepare a great amount, but not every detail. I think it's better if I prepare very well and then study more and more throughout the internship. Not too much, of course, because you also need to process everything. And you also get more growth throughout the month that I'm on cardiology, and also the aspect that I am really understanding and knowing how this information that I'm learning implements in real life. So I'm going to try it this way. Obviously, I don't know if that's the correct way, but we'll find out soon enough. So the next thing I was thinking about buying an iPad mini, because it gives me a lot of tools and is quite small. I can look things up, I can write things down, I can make quick annotations.
I think it will really enhance my learning. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll keep you up to date if it's really worth it or not.
Welcome to the history of medicine. Today we are going to look at this, the origin story of the caduceus. I actually don't know how to pronounce it, so I just say caduceus. What is the story behind it? The caduceus is often used as a symbol of medicine, but it actually comes from the Greek mythology, as it represents Hermes, the god of commerce, travel, trickery, and thieves, and obviously not healing. So why is it a medical symbol? Well, actually, the real medical symbol is the rod of Asclepius, which is the one with the snakes and no wings. And this is indeed the god of healing. Fun twist, however, many hospitals and medical organizations use the wrong symbol. It is like putting a sale sign on your clinic instead of a stethoscope. So now you know that a lot of clinics and hospitals are wrong. But I must say, I do like the design of the caduceus more.
Some stuff arrived that will hopefully help me during my internships. And one of them is actually this thing. You probably have already seen this. This is just an Apple Watch which I had. This is the SE from a few years ago, but I just bought a cheap thing so I can now attach it to my doctor's jacket, because as you might also know, it is not allowed to wear any watches or wristbands on your arms for hygienic purposes. And also what came in the mail today is this one. It is a iPad mini, which I hopefully will be able to use quite a lot in my internships. And the fun part about an iPad mini is that I can just fit it right into my pocket and carry it along with me all the time. But as I said yesterday before, I still don't know how this will perform. That is a question that I'll be able to answer next week. But I'm pretty excited about this thing because I have a feeling this could really change the way I do internships. Well, as you see, I still have to order a case, which I will do right away because I don't want this thing breaking on me because I'm quite a clumsy guy. Another thing that I bought were very comfortable shoes, and that was necessary because I highly doubt that the shoes that I was wearing, my feet were going to last the whole day. And hopefully with these new shoes, that will be the case. Okay. Right now, I'm going to have to send some mails because I still need to have a parking for my car when I arrive at the hospital. And I also need to know where I'll need to be because there is already an overlap because I need to go via the ICT to confirm that I can open doors and stuff. But I also need to be at the same hour on my cardiology rounds. That will not work, so I'll send a mail and hopefully there is a great solution for that. Okay, I'm hungry right now, so let's get something to eat and then talk further in a minute. The next thing that we need to talk about is how to make a good impression. Because most people in medicine are quite sociable and that is a good thing for them. But if I want to stand out, I need to be able to make a better impression than my peers. So this is what I came up with right now. So first and foremost, I should not only focus on the clinical questions, but also in general, more the ethical questions and also what this doctor is doing, why he or she chose that specialty and stuff like that. Next, I also want to start with asking what the expectations are of this doctor, because that could really help me to focus on the important stuff first. Let's say that I might think that in cardiology it is more important to do a thorough history taking, whilst the doctor finds being able to read the EKG is more important. You see, I would have focused on the history taking and the doctor would have evaluated me on my skills with reading an EKG or taking an EKG. And the rest is not really relevant. It's just being myself and being eager to learn I have found that that would be the most efficient way to do that. But of course, during my internships, my opinion could change about that, and I'll keep you up to date if that's the case. That being said, it is time to go and walk my dog, because it will be one of the last times that I will be able to walk my dogs at 4 o'clock, because at this time next week I hopefully will still be in the hospital learning from other doctors. All right, let's do that.
Welcome back. We're going to dive into the medical history of this patient. This patient was a little bit hypertensive, which he takes amlodipine for. But there was no history of trauma on that eye. If we did our examination, we saw that the right eye was really red and teary. There was also a mildly dilated pupil, which was not reactive to light. So it was a fixed pupil. The cornea was cloudy with a hazy appearance. If you wanted to get an idea of the intraocular pressure, he would not let you touch his eye. And if you looked at the left eye, this was quite normal, and there was also a normal pupil reaction. Nothing going on there. So right now, I want you to think what this could be and what tests you should order to confirm your diagnosis. See you next time.